There was a time you couldn't escape them. Angry Birds weren't just a game, they were a global obsession. Billion-dollar movies, theme parks, backpacks, candy, and the game? It was so viral it hijacked office meetings, school recesses, and even bored subway rides across the globe. But today, they're barely even mentioned. No trending charts, no app store dominance, no excitement. In fact, Rovio, the company behind Angry Birds, was quietly sold off in 2023. So what happened? This is the story of how one of the most beloved mobile games in history flew too close to the sun and crashed into a pay-to-win graveyard of its own making. Chapter 1. The slingshot heard around the world. 2009. A small Finnish studio named Rovio was on the brink of collapse. 51 failed games. No breakout hit. Morale shattered. Then someone had an idea. What if we took Crush the Castle, but made it cuter, smoother, and replaced boulders with Angry Birds? That clone would become Angry Birds, and it changed everything. It was addictive, clean, and stupidly satisfying. One finger, one slingshot, smash the pigs, beat the level. You got bonus points for using fewer birds, triggering that perfectionist itch in every casual gamer's brain. And it wasn't just gameplay. The characters had personality. The red bird's scowl, the yellow bird's speed burst, the explosive blackbird. Every player had a favorite. Within 60 days, Angry Birds became the #1 paid app in 60 countries. By 2010, it was making $1 million a month. And Rovio, they went from near bankruptcy to the face of mobile gaming, seemingly overnight. But as we'll see in the next chapter, success at this scale comes with a cost, and Rovio was about to pay it. Chapter 2. From game to global empire. Rovio did what any suddenly rich, suddenly famous studio would do. Hit the gas and never look back. Holiday reskins like Angry Birds Seasons painted the pigs in snowflakes. Angry Birds Rio piggybacked on a Fox movie. Space rewrote Gravity itself. Each new version shot back to the top of the charts, but the real jackpot was merchandising. Within 2 years, you could buy plushies, hoodies, breakfast cereal, even a line of frozen chicken nuggets. Yes, birds selling bird. 60,000 toys flew off shelves in the first 4 months. And by 2012, downloads smashed the 1 billion mark. Staff headcount ballooned from a couple dozen to almost 800. The Espoo lobby looked more like a theme park entrance than an office. Investors dubbed Rovio the next Disney. Journalists coined media convergence to describe how one app morphed into concerts, fashion shows, and half marathons sponsored by Red, Chuck, and Bomb. Inside the boardroom, the logic was simple. If one bird plush sold, 5 birds would sell 5 times more. Growth for growth's sake. But nothing scales forever. By late 2013, the slingshot mechanic lost its snap. Kids who once begged for Angry Birds lunchboxes now scrolled past the logo. With a payroll nearing 1,000, stagnation wasn't just inconvenient, it was lethal. Rovio's answer? Keep expanding. A kart racer, an RPG, a Cartoon Network, and quietly an animated feature costing $70 million. If that bet failed, the crash would match the climb. Chapter 3. Monetization madness and fan betrayal. That crash began in 2014. The spin-offs drew praise but little profit, plush sales cratered, revenue halved, and 200 staff were axed. Desperate, Rovio embraced what it once mocked: microtransactions. Angry Birds 2 landed in 2015 with blockbuster visuals and a slot machine soul. Extra lives cost gems. Gem bundles cost cash. Difficulty spikes hit right after you free stash rain dry. Critics called it weaponized frustration. Yet whales, those few players who spend big, pumped millions in, making AB2 Rovio's top-grossing title ever. Inside HQ, spreadsheets glowed green. Outside, goodwill burned. Reddit flamed Rovio for selling childhood nostalgia one gem at a time. Speedrunners proved some levels were mathematically impossible without power-ups. Parents deleted the game after surprise credit card bills. It wasn't just a game anymore, it was a psychological minefield. Where once there was excitement, now there was resentment. Where once players competed for high scores, now they competed against an algorithm designed to nudge them towards spending. Layoffs returned through 2016, darkening whole floors of the Helsinki HQ. Fear and frustration seeped into the culture. Marketing pinned its last hope on that secret film project. On the 20th of May 2016, the Angry Birds movie exploded onto 3,900 screens, earning $350 million worldwide and briefly restoring the brand's battered plumage. But sugar highs fade fast, and chasing them has a price. Chapter 4: Nostalgia, Denial, and the Sega Buyout. The movie's afterglow masked deeper rot. While Rovio plotted sequels, its classic apps, still beloved, still profitable, were quietly abandoned. Code aged, OS updates broke menus, leaderboards died. Then, in early 2021, the unthinkable. The original 2009 Angry Birds vanished from every store. Fans donated. #BringBackTwenty12 trended. Archivists posted APKs. YouTube's retrospectives racked up millions. It wasn't just nostalgia, it was anger. These players had grown up with Angry Birds and now it was gone. Cornered, Rovio apologized and re-released the classic for $1.99 under the stealth title Red's First Flight, buried so deep in search results that parents could barely find it. The stunt felt less like fan service and more like a dark pattern funneled toward gem-stuffed sequels. Whatever goodwill the film restored evaporated in a week. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, investors saw the writing on the wall. Stagnant users, thin margins, and radioactive PR. Enter Sega. In April 2023, the Japanese giant swooped in with a $776 million cash offer, valuing Rovio's ad tech more than its birds. Headlines called it a win-win. Lifelong fans called it the final nail in the coffin. Today, the once mighty Flock survives as a cross-promotion engine. Sonic skins in Dream Blast, red camoing in Fall Guys, a third film penciled for 2027. Maybe Sega will breathe fresh life into the franchise, maybe it'll just wring a few more gem bundles from the carcass. Either way, the lesson stands. Turn play into payday too aggressively, and players eventually put down the slingshot. Lessons from the fall of Angry Birds. 1. Never lose sight of the core experience. Angry Birds' rise came from its simple, satisfying gameplay. But once gem packs and forced frustration took center stage, players abandoned the brand. The lesson? Your product's soul, what makes people love it, must always come first. Number 2. Don't mistake expansion for progress. Rovio chased every possible revenue stream, plushies, kart racers, RPGs. But scale alone doesn't sustain a brand if each new addition feels like a cash grab instead of genuine innovation. Real growth means evolving your core, not just multiplying it. Number 3, respect the fans who built you. When Rovio delisted the original game, fans saw it for what it was, a betrayal. If you ignore the people who made your success possible, they'll find somewhere else to spend their time and money. Icons rarely die from competition. They die from self-inflicted greed. Angry Birds showed the world how fun a phone could be and how fast that fun evaporates when monetization outweighs magic. The birds may yet fly again, but the sky they ruled is gone forever. See you in the next one. Till then, Internet Rebel signing off.